WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
Go digital with Cabs. Stay connected to your account, make balance inquiries, buy airtime, view mini statements, make internal transfers and zip-it transfers, bill payments, and so much more. Use the following channels. Dial *227#. Say hi to WhatsApp Banking. Download the Cabs mobile app or visit www.cabs.co.zw for internet banking. Cabs will help you get there.
Convenience in many ways on one platform. Welcome to mine.
My own mutual is great.
Insurance, investments, just and banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
My own mutual is great.
Insurance, investments, just and banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
My own mutual is great.
Wabakukwanisa kuwa na ma-services Old Mutual anosanganisira insurance, investment ne banking all on one platform. Usebenzisa i-password eyoto WhatsApp le USSD chaya *227# bumbe ukuthumela i-WhatsApp ku-0777 227 227 ukuthi wenze konke ku-My Old Mutual.
Send and receive USD cash to your loved ones across the country with Cabs Easy Send. Visit your nearest Cabs branch to send money instantly. Fast, easy, better. With Easy Send. Cabs will help you get there.
Convenience in many ways on one platform. Welcome to mine.
My own mutual is great.
Insurance, investments, just in the banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
My own mutual is great.
Insurance, investments, just in the banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
My own mutual is great.
waba kukwanisa kuwa na maservices Old Mutual anosanganisira insurance, investment ne banking all on one platform. Usebenzisa password eyodwa WhatsApp le USSD chaya *227# bombe ukuthumela iWhatsApp ku-0777 227.
Convenience in many ways on one platform. Welcome to mine.
My own mutual is great.
Insurance, investments, just in the banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
My own mutual is great.
Insurance, investments, just in the banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
My own mutual is great.
waba kukwanisa kuwa na maservices Old Mutual anosanganisira insurance, investment ne banking all on one platform. Usebenzisa password eyodwa WhatsApp le USSD chaya *227# bombe ukuthumela iWhatsApp ku-0777 227 ukuthi wenze konke ku-My Old Mutual.
Insurance, investments, savings, the banking.
My own mutual is great.
USSD, WhatsApp, okay, konapo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very hot afternoon for two reasons. The weather, well, three reasons. The weather, no aircon, and of course, the much contested prize that we are going to announce later on today. So I suppose that's what's creating the hot atmosphere. However, I believe we can endure it for the purposes that we're here. Okay, so I'm not going to do all the formalities because I've got people that are going to be assisting me in today's program, and I'm going to call them up to come and give us their remarks, their speeches, and their thoughts of the Value Creation Challenge. And I hope that you will be enthralled as they share their remarks, and of course, as you get to see some footage of what we've been doing over the past 9 months. So I'm going to call upon Lillian Mbaiwa, who is our Group Marketing, Public Affairs, and Sustainability Executive at Old Mutual, to come and give us her welcome remarks.
Okay, it feels a bit lonely out here at the back. Why is it so far from everyone? Anyway, good afternoon to you all. Okay, I would like to start by acknowledging our guest of honor, Mr. Brian Nyagwande. He's the director of Zimbabwe Youth Council. Brian, we're really happy to have you here. Old Mutual has a long history with Zimbabwe Youth Council, dating back some years. So it's really nice to reconnect with you. I would like to also acknowledge our partner in the Innovation Hub in Eight2Five, who is Udugu, and Udugu led by Dr. Lene with his team. Doc, it's nice to have you as usual. You're one of us. I would also like to acknowledge our partners in the Value Creation Challenge. And our partners in the Value Creation Challenge are British Council today represented by Chipo Kanyumbu. Chipo, nice to have you always. It's always nice to get together at this time of year. Also, our new partner this year, British Embassy. British Embassy, we have enjoyed having you as a partner, and I hope that we'll continue our partnership as we grow, as the Value Creation Challenge. Mr. Martin Aslop, welcome. I would also like to acknowledge my bosses who are here today, and we are represented quite highly. I'll start by our chairman for Old Mutual Insurance Company, Mr. Bongai Samchia, who is such a supporter of this program. And I think, he's not happy with me. He thinks that we have not utilized him enough in this space, because that's a successful entrepreneur himself. He has a lot to share, and I think, all of us here, we have a lot to learn from him. Bongai, thank you as always for your support, and we won't do it again. Please forgive us. And I would also like to acknowledge our group CEO, Sam Matsekete, who has really supported us throughout the years on the programs in Eight2Five Innovation Hub and the Value Creation Challenge. Thank you for your support over the years, and welcome. And Mr. Isaiah Mashinya, who is my boss, and who has been really such a defender and protector and supporter, not just Value Creation Challenge, but I think in all our other roles within Old Mutual Group. So welcome. And of course, all the other distinguished guests that I have not mentioned, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and partners, I would like to welcome you all to this occasion, an occasion dedicated to celebrating a culmination of such an incredible journey, a journey that started with a spark of inspiration and evolved into a collection of remarkable ideas that have the power to reshape industry and solve some of the society's pressing challenges. First and foremost, I want to recognize the entrepreneurs, mentors, and partners who have been part of this incredible journey. Your unwavering dedication and belief in the power of innovation and entrepreneurship have made this event and the Value Creation Challenge program a resounding success. Throughout this process, we have witnessed a multitude of extraordinary pitches, groundbreaking concepts, and inspiring stories demonstrating the power of innovation and the entrepreneurial spirit that drives us forward. At Eight2Five Innovation Hub, we believe in the power of innovation to drive meaningful change. The efforts of to formalize and help give structure to young Zimbabwean businesses will go a long way to helping startups to operate in a sustainable manner. As such, Eight2Five is focused on creating a modern, professional, and energetic work environment to stimulate entrepreneurial businesses and their teams' creativity and productivity. The Value Creation Challenge journey started 2019. At that time, we partnered with the British Council, with whom we shared similar interests in empowering youth and startups with entrepreneurial spirit, the skills. This year, we had the British Embassy come on board, which bolstered our efforts in impacting the Zimbabwean startups. So I would like to mention that, we are running the Value Creation Challenge at a national level. We have enjoyed entrepreneurs coming from all parts of the country. Some of the real success stories that we are featuring are not from Harare, but they are actually coming from as far wide as out there in Nyanga and out there in Bulawayo and other corners of Zimbabwe. We would like to spread out more and have a lot more in terms of reach, the profiles of the participants. We registered an increase in the number of women this year, which is really incredible and we're very proud about. So to the top, so choosing the winners was not an easy task, as you know, especially those who were the jurors during the process. The level of competition and the quality of ideas presented were truly remarkable, which is a testament to the incredible talent we have fostered through the Eight2Five Hub and the Value Creation Challenge Program. To the top 10, I extend my warmest congratulations. You have proven that you are the esteemed panel of judges. Thank you. And let's just continue to innovate, collaborate, and shape our future that is defined by bold ideas and positive change. So stay tuned for the big reveal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lillian, for such an inspiring welcome. I would like to call upon our representative from the British Embassy, that is the Development Director and Deputy Head of Mission, Mr. Martin Aslop.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. Let me start by saying I'll stand on the protocols that we've just observed. And thank you for that wonderful welcome. So my name is Martin Alsop, as you just heard. I'm the Development Director and the Deputy Head of Mission at the British Embassy here in Harare, and I'm delighted to be here this afternoon on behalf of the British Embassy as one of the partners of the Value Creation Challenge. As you heard, this is the first year that we've partnered with VCC, and I think it's been fantastic, and we've really enjoyed it, and it's a real pleasure to be here. But I intend to keep my remarks very, very short today, because today's not about me, it's not about the British Embassy, it's about all the hard work and the achievements of all those involved in the VCC, and particularly it's about celebrating and congratulating the winners that we're about to hear shortly. I was actually privileged to speak here at the launch, and I had to check my diary. It was back in February. It feels like a very long time ago for those of you that were here in this building back then. So yeah, as I say, the first time we've partnered, but I was here at the launch, and there was a real sense of excitement in the room about an anticipation about all the wonderful things we're going to see and hear and experience through this process this year. And I remember saying back then how excited I was to think in the room with us, among the many young people that were just there for the launch, could be the next Mukuru, the next EcoCash, the next big thing coming from Zimbabwe. And so, having been here for the launch, it's fantastic to be back today, closing the circle, being here at the end to see the big reveal and hear the fantastic proposals that have won. And as I said back then, we as the UK and the Embassy here, we are a big believer in trade and investment, in vibrant sectors which are critical to driving sustained growth, poverty reduction and economic development. And one of our top priorities at the Embassy is to increase trade and investment between the UK and Zimbabwe. And we do that in a number of ways. For example, harnessing our trade agreement. We have a trade agreement in place between the UK and Zimbabwe that gives Zimbabwean businesses duty-free, quota-free access to the UK market. We take trade delegations, both Zimbabwean businesses to the UK, also investors from the UK to Zimbabwe, to really make those connections, really show people about the opportunities, and connect buyers and investors and partners, and we'll continue to do that. We also support companies like British International Investment or the Private Infrastructure Development Group. Those are UK entities that we've helped establish. We bring them here to increase investment in areas like key sectors like agriculture or horticulture, like renewable energy, financial services. We also use our development budget. So last week we actually launched a new partnership with the Horticultural Development Council, and we're working with them to strengthen their capacity to really help increase horticulture exports from Zimbabwe and also increase investment into the horticulture sector here, because we see the huge potential in that. And all of this is part of our vision to support sustainable and inclusive growth here in Zimbabwe, very much aligned with the government's national development strategy. But what really excites me about the Value Creation Challenge is that it's helping to identify the ideas and the business models of the future. Again, you don't want people like me telling you how to invest your money. I want to hear the exciting ideas from all the young entrepreneurs and people who are creating the future. So that's what's really exciting for me. And we all know, I think, micro and small enterprises are the lifeblood of any economy. They create jobs, drive innovation, and solve some of society's most pressing problems. And so that's the future that we're seeing here today through these wonderful ideas that we're about to celebrate. So that's why I'm going to keep my remarks short. And I would just like to close by thanking our partners, in particular Old Mutual, British Council, 8to5. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful for the British Embassy to be a part of this journey, and I look forward to continuing that. And finally, let me just congratulate the top 10 finalists for all their hard work, dedication, and your active participation throughout the 3-month incubation process. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Sorry, I think this will work better. Right. So thank you so much for that, those remarks. We'll move right along to our representative from the British Council, who will share her remarks as well. Please help me welcome Ms. Chipo Kanyumbu.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and all protocols observed. I am honored to stand before you and convey my thoughts on the VCC 2023 on behalf of British Council. Our aim of creating valuable connections and lasting relationships were fulfilled throughout this program. This year has been an amplified experience for the participants and also for us, the partners. The incubation program was bespoke and especially designed for this cohort that we had to maximize learning and sharing of knowledge. And I would like to especially mention and thank my fellow colleagues, the program delivery team, to mention just a few of them: Anesu, Noma, Simba, Pedzi, and Costa, for designing the key elements of this program, and also for exceptionally executing the vision. The networking opportunities that have been created were equally fulfilling, bringing closer the participants and creating the ambience for collaborating and sharing, and rather than competition. I have witnessed and heard about the amazing partnerships starting from this room, and I would like to wish everyone who has participated in this cohort all the success. On behalf of British Council, I want to congratulate all the participants for putting their best foot forward and showing up throughout the program. We hope to engage with all of you in one way or the other. I also want to congratulate my fellow partners, Udugu Institute, Old Mutual, and the British Embassy, our mothers, for remaining optimistic and supporting each other to get to this point. We have learned and are still learning to ensure we provide the best program offer for young Zimbabwean businesses. I am hopeful and certain this relationship will be a lasting one. I thank you.
Sorry about that. Thank you very much, Chipo. I'll just take that, thank you. We're almost there. I know my team. Hello? You're there? We're almost there. Okay, we need to do the pleasantries. Okay, we need to do them. So moving on, I'm going to call upon Doc Mungai to come through. He's representing Udugu Institute, our technical partner at the hub.
Good afternoon. The thing about the VCC is that it makes us meet at least once a year. So even if I don't see you, Sam, don't see you, Isaiah, at least I know once a year we'll meet, and that is something to be said for it. As everyone said, I recognize and acknowledge the dignitaries here, so I stand on the protocols, as Mark said. So, I was told to speak on something, and she didn't tell me, she didn't say how long I have, so I shall take the liberty to speak as long until you put your finger up, then I shall stop. Now, I was asked to speak on something that's a little bit, I'm a student of African leadership. At the moment, I pretend to be a student of innovation, so I have a few teachers in there, I see a few of them who have been teaching me about innovation. But today I was asked to speak something about supporting the startup ecosystems and the role of a VCC alumni community. Is that correct, ma'am? So let me try and kind of highlight a few things that I've learned along the road. If I happen not to coincide with your knowledge, then we shall reconcile our knowledge later. I think the ecosystem, here ecosystem, what does it mean? This is what I have understood from my student ecosystem means. It means the framework within which allows young startups, people with ideas who want to solve Africa's problems. Hopefully they solve the problems of Zimbabwe and the region, and then Africa, and hopefully it will go global. I think somebody's hoping that the next unicorn will come out of one of these guys, for them to access funding. Whether it's venture capital, whether it is angel investors or government grants. And sometimes, this time, we have a few grants from the private sector. Two is to be able to access an incubator and accelerator. And I think VCC, Old Mutual, British Council, now FCDO, is an example of what this an incubator accelerator can do, which allows the youngsters, the people with the ideas. I say you don't have young people, you have young ideas. So as long as you have a young idea, it's fine. To connect and share experiences and learn from each other. Thirdly, is to be able to kind of access working spaces. In Africa, space is very difficult. It's expensive, transport is expensive. So getting a space like Eight2Five provided by Old Mutual is actually very valuable for startups to be able to actually have a place they can work in peace and quiet, and they can really connect with their friends. Fourthly is the question of government initiatives. And here is important because policies matter. And I think we have heard about Minister of Finance talk about venture capital fund. I'm still waiting to see what it does. I still haven't found out what it does. And we know that the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education talks about incubation hubs in the universities. Minister of Youth has similar programs on trying to get young people to improve their skills and solve problems of Africa and Zimbabwe. Fifthly is to do education and training so that at least they're able to access business development skills, which are very important because quite often they come from university, they didn't find a formal job. If they did, they were not able to actually go very far because jobs are limited. So they do require to acquire the skills of business development. And of course, accessing networking events. And these ones, people underestimate them. As I said, this is a networking event, and I'm so glad to be here to meet old friends and old colleagues. And for them, it's more important than just meeting old friends. They are meeting people who might be investors, meeting people who might be industry professionals. So these are important. And finally, is to be able to acquire an element of technology transfer. Because without technology transfer, as they say in Africa, if you never travel, you think your mother is the best cook. So for you to appreciate technology, you have to meet other people because then you realize how little you know. And what you thought was a great idea, you might have to adjust it because there are people with better ideas. That is the ecosystem, and that's how much I would say about it. There are more people qualified to talk about it than me. What I've been asked to do is see whether I can share the idea of this VCC alumni. And I think it's important to remember it's one of the most critical building blocks in accelerator programs. And this here, what we are looking for is to understand why do you need an alumni, a community of alumni? Is this just so we can meet and have coffee, do a bit of exchange ideas on what we social media? But it's more than that. And it is one of the most critical steps of it, because what it does is that it allows the ecosystem to give you support back. Today, in this accelerator, which is one of the, in terms of the stages of an accelerator, I would like to discuss this alumni in that context. One, it helps you gain mentorship. It allows you to meet, to work with the people you've been working with, and others you haven't been working with in the co-working, in the startup. And today, it marks the end of the critical step in the accelerator, which is you have applied, you saw Mutual and British Council and FCDO advertised for you to apply for a program. You applied, you got selected, you've gone through, and now you are here. Are they 10? One in a cohort of 10 of people who, the people who worked with you, the people who judged you, consider that you've high potential for success. High potential. Now, you will need to go through the next stages of the accelerator. And one of them is alumni. And what it does, it helps you go from potential to realization. So this alumni, why do you need it? The sponsors of this program think you need it. And why they think they need it is that because they are saying, we do not want to abandon you. We have taken you a step, the first step of entry into an accelerator, and we would like you to succeed. So we are putting in place a mechanism for you to continue meeting, getting access to support, getting access to tools you need to make sure at least you succeed. That is all they can do. They can make the water available. They can't force you to drink it. You can choose not to count the alumni. At the University of Nairobi, there used to be a famous, there still stands there. And the University of Nairobi Vice Chancellor would tell the students that they came, as you come in, you see a water feature. It has got 3 giraffes. One is looking like this, one is looking like this, and one has his head in the water. And the argument was that you're all like giraffes. Some of you will not even show any interest in learning. You will drop out. Some of you will pretend you're learning. It will only take you so far. Most of you will actually drink from the fountain of wisdom, and you will succeed. So we hope out of these 10 cohort, at least 10 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10, less than that I think we'll consider ourselves having problems, will at least drink from the fountain of wisdom that the alumni VCC will make available. And I'll just quickly tell you what they are. You have a chance of getting seed funding. Doesn't mean you get it, but you are there, the river is flowing in front of you, the water is there, you choose to drink from it, you have a chance of getting seed funding. You have a chance to get mentorship, but mentorship is something you choose to ask for. No one forces you to take a mentorship. You go for it if you need it, if you don't. You will get access to a lot of knowledge. There will continue to be curricula and training programs that help you understand things that you thought you knew. When I was in grade 4, I thought I was very well educated. Then I got to grade 7, I discovered, oh yeah, I understand something, molecule. My teacher called it molecule, because an MOU means a mole. I got to university, I told my teacher in chemistry, we call it molecule. He laughed, I was laughed at by the students. So wherever much you think you know, you will find out many who know a lot more than you. So remain, as your great mentor, Steve Jobs said, remain hungry, remain foolish. You will get access to some space. Space is valuable. Ask people who have no houses to live in, and they will tell you how valuable it is. Hopefully, you get a chance to have a demo day where you can meet not people like me telling you stories from the village and telling you stories of theory. People with potential money to put into your investment. And then you'll discover how much important it was, the importance of the demo training you got during this accelerator you've gone through. You get investor connections. You meet people who are not looking for investments, but if they think you have an interesting idea, they might just say, yes, I will consider to actually put some money into your investment. You have met the man from FCDO. You've met the man from Youth. This man from FCDO will give you some global connections. Not him, but he is part of a network that has global networks. So an alumni allows you to meet people who on their own might not be that critical for you, but they have networks of people who could actually make a difference, whether you're going to succeed or fail. And finally, it will provide you the post-incubation VCC support you so badly need to be able to get on this journey and go from potential to realization. And realization is only one measure. It's called the market. That's only the test of the pudding is only one. Did you go to the market? Yes. Did people buy your products? Yes. Did they give you feedback? Yes. Are you growing? Yes. Are the people invested you happy? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. So if you can do all those things, I think the alumni will have been at least the people who are sponsoring it, who are sitting in front, who are saying we need it, will at least look back and say it was effort and resources well spent. All I can tell you is young startups, bon voyage, go well, famba shakanaka, hamba ushle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. I think that was really directed at my team at the back. Yeah, our president is in the house, yes. That's a charge to you to make sure that you come and drink and not pretend to drink from the water. I'm going to call upon Old Mutual Group CEO, Mr. Selma Matsekete, to come and give his remarks as well. And then I'm going to ask you to introduce our guest of honor.
Yeah, so today it's quite a few pleasantries, right? But it's always a pleasure to be amongst young minds, innovative minds, people that are rearing to go. They've got big ideas. They've got a bright future because they are creating that future. And they've got direction, which they are really pursuing and are committed at it. So it is my absolute pleasure, really, to be here this afternoon. And I will ride on the protocol already established. I know that we do have partners here. Martin, it's always a pleasure to have you. And I will introduce the guest of honor at the end. The value creation challenge talks about value in the first instance and creating it. And we could start and end there. Because I think today's world is crying for people that are consciously seeking to create value and are always wanting to make sure that that value that's being created is impactful on their lives, but also impactful on the broader society. This is in a world where the natural inclination is just to consume. And a lot of people are seeking to just consume, which is fine, they become a market. But I think when you are part of the creation value chain, then you are more satisfied. And so at the Eight2Five Innovation Hub, which is powered by Old Mutual and is being run in conjunction with our partners in respect of the Value Creation Challenge, being the British Council, the British Embassy, are really seeking to support those efforts. We aim to build a strong foundation for startups I was talking to our chairman here, and I was saying, you know, everyone, perhaps maybe not everyone, but the majority of people you meet today, they want to be occupied somewhere. But they sometimes lack a strong grounding, strong foundation that will ensure that they succeed, but that also their ventures will progress sustainably. So this is an opportunity that must be cherished, in that 8to5 provided an environment for you to build strong foundations for whatever you are starting, for whatever you are seeking to continue to do. And here, we have seen interventions such as, mentorship programs, people coming to share experiences, and specific interventions to develop skills in certain areas, obtaining strategic knowledge, being aware of the markets and the landscape where this game is going to be played. And that's not to be taken for granted. That's what will differentiate or distinguish you from the rest that may still present competition to you, but based on your experience and the program you went through at 8to5, your success should be assured. At 8to5, entrepreneurs and startup companies get the opportunity to connect with other business people. And Dr. Linnae went through how that would be facilitated beyond the interactions you had whilst you were going through the program into the time that you will now be part of its alumni. And we urge you to continue to leverage on the networks, the interactions you established, the knowledge base. Some of it was probably just teasers, but excited your minds to continue to pursue even deeper understanding and insights around those areas that will be useful for your business. So indeed, qualifying ventures that have gone through 8to5 stand to benefit from some finance facilities as well that would be arranged through Old Mutual. That is qualifying entities. So there is still work to be done to ensure that you would qualify. At Old Mutual, entrepreneurship is an important pillar of our responsible business framework, and we embed it within our strategy. We are committed to supporting the growth of business in Zimbabwe and businesses in the economic sectors of our country, so that we can drive economic growth and do so sustainably into the future for the benefit of now and the present generations, as well as the future and future generations. With sustainable transformation at the core of how we do business, Old Mutual aims to empower beneficiaries of our programs, beneficiaries of our products and services, to be able to anchor them for greater success into the future. So the Value Creation Challenge is inspired by this mandate. So when we run programs at 8to5, when we run programs with our partners, the British Council, the British Embassy, such as the Value Creation Challenge, it's inspired by our quest to ensure that we can positively impact the wider economy and influence its sustainable growth into the future. And whilst it make the dreams of young people, the dreams established in startups, to be a reality. Old Mutual Limited is a signatory of the United Nations-backed Principles for Responsible Investment, the PRI. And in Zimbabwe, we are therefore committed to applying these principles in our investment, in our business activities, and whatever we go about. We believe sustainability is now the new norm in terms of how we screen amongst choices of what we can do. and I was speaking at another forum and sharing that sustainability is so important now that if you want to start a business, a new venture, and you are aiming to compete and out-compete whoever else is in the same sector, sustainability is now critical for that success. So it's becoming a key success factor. So allow me to talk a little bit about sustainability. And these days in Lillian's title, which is marketing, public affairs, and sustainability, I am really loving the sustainability part these days. We believe that a strong conscience for sustainability anchors businesses for success and into the long term. So that means being conscious about the environment in which we operate. And now we talk about the contribution you make to the wider economy, which is the second E, but also social impacts and governance. So if we think about our ventures and our startups in terms of the impact we will make on society, that's a more resilient case for a business. If you're answering to a need, if you're answering to some gap in the society and you're seeking to close that gap, make a positive impact in the wider social setting or community base, then you are set for success and sustainable success for your business. In the Value Creation Challenge, we have, I believe, a success story here being demonstrated in private-public sector partnerships in line with Sustainable Development Goal 17, which speaks to the partnerships for the goals that we have set for 2030 as a community to be achieved. Sustainable Development Goal 7. Okay. Now you will say, why is he going into all this? So Martin, somehow they then made me a champion for SDGs. I have to talk about them. So Sustainable Development Goal 7, which is affordable and clean energy, and some of the projects, at least one that has been participating here, is talking about how we can make great use or efficient use of energy. And aiding climate action, which is SDG 13, our investments and ways that we select what to prioritize within our business. Exemplified in the resources we have channeled into solar and hydro energy projects. So we have been channeling resources as Old Mutual into clean energy. I'll give examples such as the Kupinga Renewable Energy in Chipinge, Chimanimani. That's a hydro plant. We have done projects in Matabeleland North, so gas, a 5 megawatt plant there. We've got another one in Matabeleland South. We do have another one closer here in Marsh Central Grid, and a number of new projects that are coming up. And the ones that we are working on, once we are done, in fact, some of them are already on stream, will be about 42 megawatts that we will be supplying into the grid. And that's enough energy to power 40,000 households. And by the time we are done, create 370 jobs. So we also continue to use our flagship financial education program On the Money to equip communities with free financial knowledge for money smart decision making, which speaks to our mandate for financial inclusion and financial education. Thanks to our partners and the partnerships that we continue to really value into the future, we also ran a number of specific projects and programs, including the Global Money Week. Just under that one, we reached just under 5,000 young people with the interventions we ran just within a week. So today we gathered to celebrate the culmination of months of hard work by the top 10 finalists on this year's edition of the Value Creation Challenge. Each one of them has demonstrated exceptional vision, resilience, and the tenacity required to transform their ideas into tangible and impactful businesses. But we also saw each one of them being conscious about sustainability into the future. through their innovative solutions, they've been able to create ideas that have excited even new ideas amongst the people they were interacting with and amongst themselves to improve lives and to drive positive change within the Zimbabwean market. So may I congratulate you all, those that were participating on this well-deserved recognition. Your hard work, your determination, and unwavering belief in your ideas will pay off, have paid off for some of you already. So the real work, however, starts now. As you navigate the path to grow, to scale, and to continue to build momentum towards what you define as success. So the playing field is not going to be easy. I'm sure that you have already learned that. Competition is not going to relent. But we believe that adhering to good business practices will earn you success. So people will be doing business. But I think doing it the right way is one way you can ensure that you will succeed. There are lots of people there that will tell you, I've just done this and it has worked, and I've done this, it has worked. Give them a few months. They'll come back and say, I then did this and I lost money. You know? So wait for the full story. But if you are, committed to doing whatever you do the right way, then success should be your portion. So rest assured, our incubation hub, along with our network of partners and mentors, will continue to support you every step of the way. Together, let us continue to push the boundaries of what is possible. Let's continue to inspire next generations of entrepreneurs, even as we will also be inspired as we pursue our endeavors. And let's continue to shape a future that is driven by innovation, by a quest for positive change, and by seeking to create a name, a brand. And I was thinking, Chairman, that when John Fairbairn sat, I don't know if he sat or he stood and thought about Old Mutual way back, he probably didn't know that the brand would grow big or this big. So everything big starts small, starts with an idea. So do not think that what we're doing here is small. I'm seeing big businesses, I'm seeing big names amongst the participants in the Value Creation Challenge. I think it is a challenge that we should embrace into the future. And together, let us continue to do great things. Thank you very much. A very good afternoon, colleagues. Now, I need to introduce our guest of honor. And our guest of honor is not new to us at Old Mutual. He would also not be new to the agenda of supporting the youth and ensuring that they've got access to environments that ensure that they can have opportunity to succeed. He heads, as a director, the Zimbabwe Youth Council. I won't go into the CV, say, but please let's clap our hands to invite our guest of honor, Mr. Brian Nyakwande, to the podium. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I wish to acknowledge the chairman of the Old Mutual Group, Mr. Vongai Zamchia, the group CEO, Mr. Sam Matsikete, British Embassy representative, Mr. Martin Aslop, British Council representative Chipo Kanyumbu, Doc Bungai, ladies and gentlemen, and our young entrepreneurs. I'm very humbled and at the same time very excited to be invited here as the guest of honor at the Old Mutual Value Creation. This year alone, I've attended 4 events of young people showcasing their enterprises. The first one I attended was at the HICC, where the renowned Vusi Tembikwayo was invited to give a lecture on the topic of entrepreneurship. The second one was an award ceremony in Blueyo. The third one was another award ceremony in Mutare. But this one is the best of the four. Do you want to guess why? Of all these three, I'll just make presentation as the directors at YC. But today, I am here as the guest of honor. Let me start my presentation by saying that the topic of entrepreneurship, I would say, tickles my fancy. Young people are one bunch of a group of people that I've come to enjoy. Just about yesterday, I was just looking at how I've progressed career-wise, and I've just discovered that of all the jobs that I've been involved in, the common denominator there is young people. So I'm very excited, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be speaking to issues that affects us as a nation. I think when we say entrepreneurship, we mean solutions to the problems that we have as a nation. And bringing young people together and them showcasing, I think it means we are on the right direction in terms of bringing back the glamour that Zimbabwe is known for. Let me hasten to congratulate Old Mutual for the Value Creation Challenge, VCC, a nationwide incubation program of 8-5 in partnership with British Council, British Embassy, and EFT, an exciting program that provides professional business development and learning opportunities and connections and financial support to entrepreneurs that have businesses that are not older than 5 years. VCC facilitates business development through product incubation, business acceleration strategies, access to networks and potential investors, and seed funding. The program targets startups that operate in the following thematic areas: emerging technologies, fintech, creative industry, and sustainability. I'm going to be giving about 5 insights around the aspect of entrepreneurship. So first and foremost, I'll speak about empowerment, empowerment of young people around entrepreneurship, the aspect of innovation and leadership in young people's enterprises, and I'll also speak of the role that we play as Zimbabwe Youth Council in terms of creating the environment for young enterprises. And then I'll speak about the opportunities and challenges that we find, and sum up my presentation with the future of entrepreneurship in Zimbabwe. So on youth empowerment and entrepreneurship, I must say that the Zimbabwean story of young entrepreneurs is that of a high incidence of these entrepreneurs, but very little has been done to establish the orientation in terms of their growth. Entrepreneurship in Zimbabwe is highly informal, high cost of high-tech equipment, access to financial resources, a high market competition, poor infrastructure, difficult in registration and licensing. This is what our young entrepreneurs meet each and every day. Entrepreneurship the world over is known for its catalytic role in fostering economic development among its incredibly young entrepreneurs. This is even more true. Young entrepreneurs are 10 times more likely to create employment opportunities for their peers. So as a nation, there is need to implement policies that young people can have to easily start up their business and to register them. So I'll quickly highlight on what needs to be done in terms of ensuring that we empower young people by creating the conducive environment. As Zimbabwe Youth Council and as a ministry, we feel that on the topic of entrepreneurship, there is need to come up with maybe youth economic zones around the creation of entrepreneurship. There's also issues around bringing our heads together in terms of the collateral security that is required for young entrepreneurs to start up their business. I think the aspect of venture capital that the doc alluded to, we also need to bring our heads together in terms of its access and availability to young entrepreneurs. There's also need to engage licensing authorities around the aspect of SMEs, particularly for youth entrepreneurs. And also the idea on ease of doing business. Zimbabwe ranks 171 out of 184 countries. So from that, I think you can compute how difficult it is in terms of a young entrepreneur to establish a business in terms of its formalization, registration, and all those aspects that I've spoken to. I will speak on innovation and leadership to say that emerging innovation through a supportive government policy that can enhance acquisition of cheap entrepreneurial skills and create better working environment for the young entrepreneurs have far-reaching implications for livelihood of the youths in Zimbabwe. I think innovation is critical. Innovative entrepreneurs can possess a competitive edge over their rivals as they more liably produce unique products which might increase their profitability. Innovation helps in the entrepreneurs build up their core competencies in a variety of ways that makes it quicker, more profitable and adaptable and capable of dealing with market pressures. So yes, we want entrepreneurs, but we also want those that think outside the box, that create products that can match the competition that we find ourselves in, products that we can export to other countries. So innovation is critical for the young entrepreneurs. The role of leadership in driving entrepreneurial success, I think leadership is a critical factor in entrepreneurial success. It involves setting up clear vision, making informed decision, inspiring and motivating others, building up and managing teams, effective communication and adaptability to change. Entrepreneurial leaders influences entrepreneurial success. So there is a correlation between leadership and success in establishing our business. Entrepreneurial leadership is an association with passion for innovation, risk-taking ability, decision-making, and proactiveness. Entrepreneurial success is achieved through identifying leadership skills. Entrepreneurial leadership is often full of uncertainties and risks, like in our case where we have currency instabilities. Therefore, numerous strategies and approaches need to be adopted by entrepreneurial leaders to make their business successful. Having said that, I now wish to explain our role as Zimbabwe Youth Council in terms of what we do to facilitate in creation of the conducive environment for our young entrepreneurs to thrive. Young people are the significant agents of change in communities and national development. They've spearheaded positive social change, leading to community initiatives, operating small businesses, and reshaping political processes. The Zimbabwe Youth Council is a critical entity that serves as an advisory or advocacy body to the government. Section 3A1 that establishes the Zimbabwe Youth Council speaks of it as being the advisor of government on the needs of young people. In youth development, entrepreneurship, there is a lot of challenges that our young people meet. As have been alluded to, lack of financial resources, infrastructure support, unsupportive economic policies, lack of vocational education facilities, and slow rate of technological development of young entrepreneurs. So that being said, we need the Zimbabwe Youth Council to be the advocacy agent in terms of ensuring that young people have conducive environment. As Zimbabwe Youth Council, in partnership with the Department of Deeds and Companies from 2018, we discovered that young people were highly informalized. I think government of Zimbabwe came up with a youth relief fund to which they wanted to then support distressed young people's businesses that had been affected by COVID-19. But in trying to issue out the fund, we faced a very huge challenge where we would request young people to present to us that they had businesses and that they were operating. What we discovered was that most of them did not even have eco-cash accounts to show that they were doing business. So to that end, we took it upon ourselves that we needed to support young people in terms of their formalization. So we partnered the Department of Deeds and Companies Registration at a subsidized rate to then register young people as businesses. And we have tried our level best from 2018, is it 2019, sorry. To date, we have registered over 8,000 young businesses. And also to say that what we find is, yes, they may have businesses, but the challenges that I've alluded to is they're constantly running battles with the local authorities. If the business is about selling fruits in the streets, they always running battles with the local authorities. So young people do not have operating space. So as Zimbabwe Youth Council, we have taken it to government to say we'll need to set up youth operating spaces. And we have started with a pilot project in Chinhoyi, Mashonaland West, where we have sought land where we would want to establish at most 70 factory stalls, which we are going to build for the young people, to which they can access for a fee, which we can use also as an income generating. But the idea is to create space for young people's enterprises. I also wish to highlight that I think my predecessor speakers have spoken about the relationship we have had with Old Mutual that dates back to, I think, in the as late as 2010, where we partnered Old Mutual in terms of provision of youth funding for their projects. We had a program that was called Kurera Ukondla, to which, together with Old Mutual, we would disperse loan facilities to young people. Whether that was successful or not is a story for another day. but this is what we have done as Zimbabwe Youth Council. I also wish to highlight that as Zimbabwe Youth Council, we've been very instrumental in terms of coming up with the establishment of the Empower Bank, which is a youth bank. I think I recall very well that at its inception, I was one of the people that would propose, even for the name, to say we want young people empowered. So what can be the easiest way to name the bank? We would throw in names like Empower Bank and so on and so on. So the Youth Council has been very instrumental in ensuring that we have funding for young people and banks are ready to partner the ministry in terms of provision of youth loans for them to establish their enterprises. I now wish to just give a general outline of the challenges that our young enterprises are faced with when they then think of setting up their own businesses. I think some of them I've already highlighted them. I'll just do a quick rundown. The lack of capital, lack of collateral required by financial service organization, lack of infrastructure, unstable financial and monetary policies, lack of access to latest technology, and unavailability of current and detailed information online about entrepreneurship. On opportunities, I always say when I meet young people that the problems that we have in Zimbabwe as a nation, the issue about absence of ZESA, maybe 12 hours a day, those are entrepreneurial opportunities that young people can grab and use their innovations, their energies in terms of coming up with solutions. I've always said that for me, entrepreneurship should be to provide all the challenges that we have. I think one of the biggest ambulance services in the world, which is in India, was as a result of a crisis. I think that it was sometime in 2011 when there were terrorist attacks in India. And when that happened, there was need for people to be ferried from where the crisis had struck them to take them to hospital institutions. But one of the entrepreneurs saw that the ambulance services of India would not deliver people quickly. And quickly, that person came up with an idea that I'll come up with an ambulance services. And today, as I speak, it's one of the biggest ambulance services. So in terms of opportunities, I always say that all that we see in Zimbabwe and say there are challenges, there are entrepreneurial opportunities for young people, and young people should grab those and come up with solutions. So in terms of opportunities, the problems we have as a nation are entrepreneurial opportunities. From the youth sector, I also just wish to say that government is making frantic strides in terms of ensuring that we create the conducive environment. And if we have a youth policy, as Ministry of Youth together with Zimbabwe Youth Council, that has a thematic area around youth employment and entrepreneurship. And the government, through the ministry, has said that ministry will provide entrepreneurship development facilities such as business finance and startup kits for the entrepreneurs, and create an enabling environment for ease of doing business in all sectors of the economy for the benefit of youth. Section 20 of the Constitution also encourages government and each agencies to make sure that support is given to young people for them to realize their aspiration. As a nation, I think we are endowed with all sorts of natural resources. And for me, I think this is an area which our young people can explore, bring their innovations, and develop products from this vast resource base. I also see it as an opportunity that we have supporting institutions. Just about today, before I attended this meeting, we had a meeting with Zimtrade. And my mind was blown in terms of their presentation to the effect of the market linkages and the market that's out there for Zimbabwean products. I was told, I think in that meeting, that in Europe, just a kg of the Mauyu powder, just the powder cost about 20 euros. And I was saying I would not even do mining. I'll just go to Chimanimani and start harvesting all those Mauyu trees, and I'll be a millionaire in a day. I also think that we have a youth bank is also an opportunity that even though the funding is not adequate, but we still have that window where young people, having created their ideas, their innovations, they can approach the youth bank for support. And the greatest of all, institutions like Old Mutual that have brought us here today in terms of bringing together the young minds for starting up business. I see that as an opportunity. And the last of my presentation, I'm going to talk about the vision and future of entrepreneurship and how the initiatives like the VCCs contribute to the vision. And I want to say that young people are the future of Zimbabwe, and young people are the largest demographic. The future of entrepreneurship should be such that young people should be establishing enterprises all over. Entrepreneurship is about providing solutions, and young people should take the lead as the biggest demographic. Innovations and enterprises in agriculture, tourism, mining, manufacturing, and etc. should be led by our young people. It is a fact that the state of an economy is directly related to the state of entrepreneurship in that economy. Entrepreneurship is the only most important activity through which economic wealth is created. It creates jobs, attracts investment, and drives economies. So what I see is what is happening here, that we are bringing our young minds, and this should be our drive going into the future, that as entities, as government agencies, we should be supporting the innovations of our young people, because for us to get back to the breadbasket of Africa, we need to support the innovations that young minds have. We need to bring the investment to the young people for them to take the lead. All the aspirations that we have as a nation, that we want to be an upper middle income economy by 2030, the energy is not with the old. The energy is with the young people. So we should support our young enterprises. We should support our young businesses, for it is the future. I want to applaud the Value Creation Change. This initiative helps in developing sufficient entrepreneurial capital to rocket propel Zimbabwe out of the current economic situation. These ignite the entrepreneurial spirit. I've always wondered in most of the entrepreneurial programs that I have entrepreneurial course, this initiative. And I'm confident that the program will produce real entrepreneurs who are not just articulate on the general aspect of entrepreneurship, and business skills, but have sufficient practical battlefield know-how, as well as possess the correct mindset and philosophy, as well as the pathways for high caliber of entrepreneurs. I wish to congratulate those that have won and say to you, Maskati Maswera, say thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll just play a short video just as an intermittent break, and then we'll move on to our final speaker of the pleasantries in the afternoon. And we will then move to the most important segment that we've all been waiting for. Tim?
It was so inspiring seeing so many minds come together and show us their creativity as well as innovation through their business ideas. This is exactly what we look for at the Hub.
It has been an amazing experience. I am humbled, I feel very humbled to have been in a room with such great minds. This only shows a small fraction of how amazing Zimbabwe is.
Through the Value Creation Challenge, we have been able to get more knowledge on acquiring customers, branding, and also doing some costing on the products that we're working on.
I'm someone who is coming from a zero experience in terms of business management. I only know about agriculture, but when it comes to managing the business, managing farmers, I'm getting a lot of knowledge, a lot of mentorship from this program.
VCC has helped us big time because one, this opportunity itself is a huge opportunity that millions of startups out there are not getting.
These programs are really important in that they accelerate the pace at which startups grow and develop their ideas. Putting people together on a program with timelines and guidance accelerates that growth, and it also pushes them to think out of the box, share ideas, share knowledge.
My key learnings from the value creation was the value of partnerships. I learned that you cannot grow your business alone. We had this saying to say, don't run a jet, run a business. So it was really valuable to me.
It has inspired me to dream bigger, to be more confident about the ideas that I have.
We hope that by the end of this iteration, their businesses would have been transformed and impacted, and we will see germs of Zimbabwean-born businesses coming to success.
Value Creation Challenger. I love this statement. For those that don't know me, my name is Msindazwe Ndlovu. I love to say I'm a glorified garbage man because of what I do. But I am an alumni and the overall winner of last year's Value Creation Challenge. I run a business. I run a business with a funny name called The Noble Savage. And people always ask, how can a savage be noble? And I always say, how can waste be a resource? Being part of the Value Creation Challenge, and this statement, there are actually 3 statements I want to share with those entrepreneurs, those that are planning to apply, and those that are sitting on the fence. For me, becoming the overall winner, I was a repeating student, right? I went the first time, didn't make it, then I went again the second time. Because one thing I learned the first time I went is no matter what it is, never give up. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So start, never give up. Statement number 1. Statement number 2, don't stop innovating. That is how you grow your business. Because don't rush for money, rush for value. Because with value, money comes. That's why it's called the Value Creation Challenge. Zimbabwe. And the last statement, Zimbabwe is full of challenges. It's full of problems. But through those challenges, they need solutions. And those solutions bring opportunity to get your money. So remember, seek value, get the solutions, and the money will come. Ladies and gentlemen, aspire beyond generations. That's the motto of our company. And that's the motto that I want to leave with you. And let us change the world, one step at a time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sindazwe, for that charge and encouragement. We will now move on to the segment that we've really all been waiting for, which is the prize giving, okay? And whilst you can play something in the background but very low volume, I will then give the order of how we will do our prize giving. And I will also then be able to say who I'm going to invite to help us with the prize giving. So if you just give me a moment, Tim, if you can just play something quickly.
Through their business ideas. This is exactly what we need for at the hub.
It has been an amazing experience. I am humbled. I feel very humbled to have been in a room with such great minds. This only shows a small fraction of how amazing Zimbabwe is.
Through the Value Creation Challenge.
Okay. I'm going to invite, oopsie. Okay, I think it's just water. Is that a mic? Okay, that's fine. I'm going to invite Lillian, please, and Doc Mungai to come and give us the first set of certificates. We are going to give our top 10 certificates of attendance or participation, as well as some gift hampers. Doc, Lillian. And then I'll call the order of the startups to come forward. So it's okay, the first person to come up is Dawa Health. Dawa Health. No. Then you can pass it back. Not that one. Two handles. So they are getting quite a nice somethings there. I hope you'll be able to carry them. So like that. No, don't take these ones. Okay. Our picture, guys, please. Let's be quick so that we can move along. Are we done? Thank you. Thank you, Dawa Health. And then our next person to come up, Farmbuzz Agricultural Solutions. Farmbuzz, that's Anesu Mapisa, who is the founder of Farmbuzz Agricultural Solutions. Thank you very much. If the photos are done, the next person or company coming up, Zimbabwe Flying Labs. Tawanda Chihambakwe, the founder of Zimbabwe Flying Labs. Are we done? Thank you. Coming up next, I'm going to ask Chipo. Please come up. Doc, thank you. Lydian, you may remain. You may remain, please. But Doc, thank you very much. Chipo, please come up for the next set of certificates. And whilst Chipo is coming up, Clean Up Zimbabwe. That's Owen Chiwandire. He is a founder of Clean Up Zimbabwe. Thank you very much. Up next, Zambezi Arc Technologies, Zatec, of Chigumbu Lantern. That's Elwin. And whilst that picture is taken up, Martin, if you'd like to come to the front, please. Thank you. Thank you, Chipo. I'm relieving you. Lillian, I'm still with you. The next person to receive the certificate is TexPel Zimbabwe. TexPel co-founder Takudzwa Chirao. And hot on his heels, I would like to also call upon Save More Tomorrow Smart Wealth. Thank you. And I would also like to now invite Nyasha Textile Studios. Nyasha Textile Studios by Nyacha Shiwaura. And finally, Lifeline Publishing House. Thank you. Lifeline Publishing House, and the founder is Margaret Chideme. Thank you very much, Lillian and Martin, after the picture is taken. In fact, I would like to keep Martin up. I'm sorry. And I would like to invite Sam as well as Bongai. So guys, I've been keeping this secret for way too long. And we're now coming up to the announcement. Okay? And our second runner-up, our second runner-up is, do you want to guess? Any idea? Lifeline Publishing. Lifeline Publishing, Margaret. Happiness? Okay, thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you so much, Chairman. I would like to call upon British Embassy, British Council. Martin, you can take your seat. British Council, as well as our GCOO, Mr. Mashinya, to come up for this presentation. Our first runner-up, any wild guesses? At all? I'm hearing names, but I won't mention them because I might be castigated for them. Our first runner-up is Zatec. Okay, then the check and goes. Thank you very much. I would like to excuse Mr. Mashinya and Chipo and call upon our guest of honor, with Sam remaining. And because this is our final winner, I should have actually let you stay, Chipa. I'm sorry about that. I would like to re-invite British Council and the British Embassy to come up, please. Right. The moment that we've been waiting for. Any wild guesses? Just throw it out there. Oh, okay, I'm hearing it from the crowd. I do not want to mention it. However, it's just been an incredible journey having you guys here and just walking through these 6 to 9 months. I just want to say that before I call out the winner, okay? And it's been quite an amazing journey. And if anything, I hope that your lives and your businesses have been transformed accordingly. And I would now like to call upon our winner, who is TaxPal Zimbabwe. Come on, guys, we can do better than that. Let's clap for him all the way up here. Congratulations. Taku, right in the center. Right in the center, Taku, thank you. And photo pictures, there you go. And the ultimate prize. Yes, thank you very much, and well done, Taku. Thank you so much. You may all take your seats. At this point, I would like to invite our CEO again and to present our guest of honor with the token of appreciation. Which is that? And the 201. You'll be interested to know that our hampers today are made by Glide Time. Glide Time. At this point, because we've waited the whole day to just get to this point, I would like to call upon our Group Corporate Affairs and Entrepreneurship Officer at the Eight2Five Innovation Hub, Mr. Simbarashi Gwenzi, to give his vote of thanks / closing remarks, because he said I should put both.
Thank you, Noma. And congratulations to the winners and to the final 10. It's been an amazing journey, a very long one for some, but I'm happy that we have come to this point, and it's been an honor to be part of this process. And I would like to extend this appreciation from our team at the Eight2Five Hub. So I'd like to acknowledge our key guest of honor, Mr. Brian Nyagwande from the Zimbabwe Youth Council. Thank you for the remarks and inspiration and guidance to the policy that government is looking at in line with the VCC. I'd like to acknowledge our group CEO, Mr. Sam Matsegete. Thank you for the remarks and honoring this event. And I was thinking to myself, we've got the chairman as well of Omiko, and he's very much interested in this VCC, and my apologies for the late, for the late notification. And I was thinking to myself, I was told that Sam is the patron of the 8-to-5. And then we've got Bongai, who's very interested in the VCC. So we do a pitch competition for the two and we see who takes up the patronage. I'd like to acknowledge our partners who've supported us along the journey, the British Council and the British Embassy. It's been an honor working with you on this journey, and we look forward to working with you in the successive versions of the VCC. I'd like to acknowledge our judges who took up a very difficult role in judging these innovations. In the adjudication, there was a lot of back and forth and clawing back and forth, and the Chipo was really fighting, and we saw that they were very much involved in the process, and please note they were very much passionate about the different innovations, but we had to have 3 winners, and it doesn't mean the rest, you are not valid. Your ideas are valid, and I'm sure we'll find ways of securing partnerships for you as well. So thank you to the judges, and thank you for the support that you gave us. I'd like to acknowledge our team that helped us. You find that there are people who spend the wee hours of the night trying to make things happen and putting things together. We've got our tech team that have to set up here. We thank you for your support. We thank the team at the 8-to-5. We're a blended team. We've got the Drugu Institute that works with that on a daily basis in the 8-to-5 hub. I'll mention a few names. We've got Pedzi right at the back. Can you raise your hand? He's our pleasure manager within the hub. He makes sure that the community works well and people keep interacting and runs the programs within the hub. And we've got Noma, who is the mother of the VCC participants, who takes care of every need that the participants have along the whole journey from the start and to this point. I'd like to acknowledge the team behind the scenes. Some of them, you may not see them. These are staff that help us in the facility in helping these things come to fruition and move well. And last but not least, I would like to acknowledge my principal, Lillian. She's been our strategic guide in pushing this VCC and all the other programs that we do at the 8-to-5 hub. Without her guidance, I don't think we'd have gotten to this point. So, Lillian, I would like to acknowledge you and thank you for this. So, coming to the end, and giving just a roundup of what has happened, I think we've come to a point where we've seen the inspiration and the different things that young people are doing in this country to try and solve the situation that we have and the problems that we have. All we ask for is continued support. All we ask for is your involvement in the different processes that we come with. And when we come knocking at your doors, please welcome us, and we'll be ready to partner with you. Thank you, and I'll call upon Noma to come and give us the rest. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Simba, for that. I'm not going to thank people after you. What I'm going to do is a bit of housekeeping, because now we want to take pictures and so on and so forth. So please, I would like to invite, I'll share the order of how we'll come up and of our pictures and our top 10, if you can cooperate very quickly so that we can move along and we can give back, I think, almost 30 minutes of the day to the people that have graced this occasion. Thank you. I would like to call to the front. Can I have our partners all come up, please? Our partners, British Embassy, British Council, and I'd also like to call upon our guest of honor, as well as a board chair, as well as Mr. Mashinya, to come up, and Doc Mungai, to come up and we'll take a picture with all our winners today. Our top 10 as well. And the photo guys, if you can help with either they sitting, are they standing, and then and I don't know why I forgot Sam. I think I just figured it's a given. I have no idea how that happened. Lillian, would you like to come up? Yes. You know, these are some job-threatening moves that I've just made. How do I forget my CEO? So this will be the first picture, and then we'll have the top 10 joining us.